Welcome to our Keynote video presentation. If you look at this is the Keynote icon, and if you execute it, the first screen you're going to see is this one. Now, when you get presented with this, you're going to get a choice of different themes, and you can just scroll through them to take a look. In this case, I'm going to choose this one called Vellum. And then I'm going to choose the size, and in this case, since my screen is about 1280, I'm going to choose this one. Choose, and then initially brings up your opening title screen. It automatically starts with a template, and just to begin, you can type in the title of your template. In this case, it's going to be Photography Tips, and double click down here, and you could put in by your name. There you go, your title screen's done. The next thing you're going to do is select a new slide, and this particular one is a heading with some bullets. Now, since we're doing photography tips, I want a picture in each one of them, so I'm going to click Masters here. Just see that again, Masters. And I want something with a photograph in it. If I choose this one, and it's basically the same thing, but then there's a photograph here. So we'll just put in a main title, and we're going to call the main title Tip Number 1. Tip, number 1. And this is going to be Rule of Thirds. Okay? And just the general content will be, imagine a tic-tac-toe grid on your picture. Next point, place the main object of interest at one of the intersection points of the grid. There we go. And then what we'll do is we'll select photographs to put in here. So you can simply drag and drop. So I think I'm going to do that just to show you how easy it is. And I'm just going to make this window a little bit smaller. And I've got a bunch on my desktop, so I'm just going to do this. So Rule of Thirds number 1. I'm going to take this one, and all I'm going to do is drag it from my desktop onto here. And you see how a plus sign appears? And there we go. Picture's in place. So I'll leave that there and just click off. Okay, the next slide is done. Okay, now I'm going to go on to the next one. Click the plus sign, and I'll put tip number 2. And that one's going to be called Working with Lines. Okay? And there's basically 3 different kinds of lines, and I'll just talk about those quickly. So this is scrolled over a bit, so I'm just going to go like that. There we go. And it'll say, look for lines in your composition, either horizontal, vertical, or diagonal lines. Okay? Then put horizontal lines can convey rest, or, I don't need a comma there, or peacefulness, as in people sleeping, or horizons at sunset as examples. And then I'll just put in a note for vertical lines, and you'll notice that it's coming to the bottom here. Vertical lines can convey power or growth. And you notice I can't see anything anymore. So what I'm going to do is hold down the Command key and then just minus. Oh, hold on. Have to select it first. Click in here. Do Command A to select everything. Okay. And then Command minus, I can slowly shrink it down to a size where I can fit the rest of the text. Growth as in skyscrapers or trees. Skyscrapers showing power and trees showing growth. So I've got my text in there. Now, I need to put a picture in here, and I can choose any picture I like. So I'm just going to flip it again here, and if I hold down the Command key and hit Tab, okay, I can get back to where I've got these. Now I have a number of different pictures here that I could use, and so I could throw in one of my diagonal lines or my horizontal lines or whichever. So which one will I choose? I think I'm going to choose the horizontal lines. Okay, I'm just going to drag that in. Okay, there we go. And so I've got my two slides here now. Now what I'd like to do next is actually I'd like to put in samples of photographs. So I'm just going to put another slide, and this one I'm going to choose the 3-up photos. Okay, so it's just straight photos, and I'm just going to drag and drop some photos that I'd like to put in here. So I'm going to put in the vertical lines one here, and then I'm going to put in, actually I'll reuse the horizontal one, and then I've got a diagonal line one that I'm going to put in here. Okay? And that way I've got 3 different pictures there. Okay, so now I've got the start of a slideshow at least. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is put in some transitions. And maybe I'll stop here.